All right, so I've got my particular solutions in the numerical that seem to track with what I wrote down, what I estimated for up here in my graphical solutions, and now I actually have to try to solve this. Right? I want to know when -1 is equal to -2 plus 4 times the cosine. Zoom this in a little bit. 2 pi over 4 times x minus 0.3. So first thing I'm going to do is add 2 to both sides, and I get 1, right? -1 plus 2 is +1. Divide both sides by 4, and I'll get 1/4 equals the cosine of 2 pi over 4 times x minus 0.3. At this point, that's when I would do my arccosine. The cosine of this thing, the cosine ratio of these are equal to 1/4. So that means that that thing, the 2 pi over 4 times x minus 0.3, that is equal to the arccosine of 1/4. The collection of all of the arguments that would have a cosine ratio of 1/4 is equal to that. Multiply both sides by 4 over 2 pi and add 0.3. If you want to combine some steps, this is a good spot to do it. I get 0.3 plus 4 over 2 pi times the arccos of 1/4. The arccos formula from above, again, I plug in here. Yeah, 0.3 plus 4 over 2 pi times the positive or negative value that my calculator gives me when I plug in the inverse cosine of 1/4 and every angle coterminal to it. Again, I need to distribute this across both terms. So I get x equals 0.3 plus 4 over 2 pi times the inverse cosine of 1/4. But it's times the positive or negative value, so this whole term is going to be positive or negative, plus 4 over 2 pi times 2 pi n. Again, my 2 pi's will cancel, and I'll be left with 4n, because I'm not adding full rotations anymore. I'm adding my period. I'm adding 4 to get from like one thing to the next. So this plus 4 makes that. This plus 4 makes that. Starting here, this one plus 4 would make that one. This I have to plug in to my calculator to figure out what that would get me. So again, do 4 divided by 2 pi times the inverse cosine of 1/4. I get 0.839. X equals 0.3 plus or minus 0.839 plus 4n, and I have to split it. X is 0.3 minus 0.839. Again, I usually do the minus ones first just because when I go left to right, that comes before the positive one. Plus 4n, or x is 0.3 plus 0.839, and every 4 after that. So here, 0.3 minus 0.839 would get negative 0.539 plus 4n, or x is 0.3 plus 0.839 would be 1.139 plus 4n. And there is my general solution. If I want to find all of the ones that were graphed, I just have to plug in different n values. So here, right, if I take these two things and I say, okay, well, let's let n be 0. The first one, I get negative 0.539. And this one I get, let's do this. And this one I get 1.139. Right? One full cycle away, if n is 1, I would add on 4 to this. And I would get x equals 3.461, which, yep, I did my math right. There it is right there, 3.461. Right. This one, add 4 onto this, and get 5.139. Right. I've got all but this one right here, that negative 2.861, because that's one full rotation in front of one other one, actually. So I might need to do n equals -1, right? And subtract 4. Like n -1 times 4 is -4, so this would be negative 4.539. Doesn't show up on the screen. It's not really one of the solutions that it's looking for, but this one, 1.139 minus 4 should be negative 2.461. Nope, sorry, 861. I'm getting... there. And that's where I would get my 5 solutions there. Go ahead and do part E here. Part E says find the first one greater than 100. So 100 divided by 4 is 25. I need to be about 25 cycles away from this. So I can check each one, right? If I go 25 sets of 4 away from negative 0.539, I'm going to be a little less than 100. So if I do the other one, though, right, 1.139 plus 25 periods, 25 sets of 4, I'll be at 101.139, which would be that solution. So there you go.